All right, good morning, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Just kind of wrap up, Saturday. It was a great night, for our team. To be able to get that win, it's huge for our university, for our program. For all former players, for every member of our program. I mean, it's a game that we put a lot of emphasis on, each year, and it's. To be able to leave that field with our third straight victory over that opponent is big. It's something that I was proud of our guys of just all the things that we worked for, how they responded throughout the game. I mean, you can watch it and see. I mean, there were plays that obviously would like to have back. Some good, some bad. All of it that showed up. But I mean, our team, they had great confidence throughout the course of the game. The sideline was awesome. The support, the encouragement. And then I thought our guys played really, really hard. Played physical. We made the plays necessary when we needed to be made. I love seeing guys. Jerry and Jones finishing up with that interception and just what he did, and what he's done throughout his career. I mean, it was just such a great ending. I was proud of him for that. I know we kind of mentioned some of those guys, there in the post-game press conference that have, guys that have been on the journey for the last 4 years, and to see and to be a part of a lot of the transitions that we've had here, and just kind of where we are, and to see them show up and play big in that game was really cool to see. And there was it was a three-phase game. You saw our special teams, I thought, showed up huge. Going back and watching it, from Alex flipping the field, the field position battle, being able to make an impact. Our coverage units were great. Our kickoff covered. We got great kicks. I think they tried to return two, and guys, we were able to pin them and have long fields. And then the return unit, showing up. I mean, I thought it was awesome. Just watching the guys and the energy and the effort that was being put in. I called out, Dre Jacobs, Vendravius. He was. I think he played 2 snaps in the game. And I always tell our players, you never know, when your moment's going to, when you're going to be called upon, or when your moment's going to show up. And he had probably one of the better blocks in the game. And I think he played 2 plays, and all effort and everything he had in that moment, and actually helped kind of provide a seam for Keon. And you just, when Keon broke into the open field, just watch the effort of our guys chasing him down the field, and the excitement and the joy for a special teams play that was big. And it was obviously Keon did a great job on it, but it was when you watch the 10 other guys that did their job and played a significant role in helping create that space, and you see just the constant ebb and flow. I mean, that game's going to be challenging. You're going to have momentum swings. I don't care what year it is, what it looks like. I mean, that we were a couple plays away from making that game a lot I guess less close. If we would have executed in certain moments or had a little different outcome, but it didn't happen. And they made some plays. They did a good job in a couple areas, and it came down to 1-score game. And you look back in the history of that game, I think since 2000, I saw a stat somewhere. It was, I think, 18 of the last 22 or 23 games have come within a 8-point game. And I mean, that's what a rivalry game is going to be. And so you got to be prepared for that moment. And how we train, what we do, everything we build our players up for is to prepare them for those swings. And I thought they handled it really well, and did what was necessary to win it. Obviously, it hit a couple benchmarks. Being able to have our 26-10 win season, pretty big. It's big for our program. I know we've talked about it before, but you get a chance to change the walls, change the number on the walls here at Florida State. You've done something special, and this team will be remembered because of that. And we're still just on our path, on our journey to take another step. To go undefeated in ACC play was big. these guys they've battled, they've worked, and it was definitely an impressive feat to see them be able to accomplish that. And we know what that sets up for here in a few weeks. But as we jump into this week, it's still about our growth. It's about our improvement. There's plenty of mistakes and things that we have to correct and we have to get better at. And our guys understand that. And we met last night. We practiced last night. We squatted yesterday. I mean, it is work. It is time. It is going to get better. That's our focus. And as we get a chance to come into this week, I mean, there's a lot of things that you get a chance to be celebrated this week. I mean, this is going to be our seniors, our senior day, our seniors last home game. That's something that it means a lot to me. And I'm going to kind of mention. I mean, you can go through the guys that have been here, the guys that have come here, that have really poured everything they have into this program, into what we ask them to do, as a football player, but equally as much, what it is to be a Florida State Seminole and how they have to represent this program, and obviously all the great players and the wonderful tradition that we have to honor in what we do and how we do it, and who they are off the field, what they do on the field. This is a group that deserves to be celebrated, and I'm just so excited for what they've done, and obviously to be able to recognize them, as we go out there on Saturday, and also a very special occasion. We get to celebrate the 2013 national championship team, and we got a great number of those guys coming back. Here this weekend, and it's going to be a special event, a special recognition of all that they did. One of the greatest teams in the history of college football, and to be able to honor their accomplishments is really going to be big. And glad we're going to have a majority of those guys back to be able to celebrate them. But like I said, it's all about the work this week and continuing to push, continuing to grow, continuing to get better. But it was another big step that we took last week, and we've got a big one here in front of us as we get a chance to put a stamp on our last home game here at Doak Campbell Stadium for this year.
Our first question will be Ira on your right.
I'm guessing based on what you just said, I may have an idea what the answer is, but after this physical stretch, you guys had some very physical games, and you've got some huge games coming up down the road. Is there any temptation to giving some guys some time this week to heal and get better as you get ready for the?
Oh, we need to go get better. Like, that's what we need to do, and but it's not just the physical. It's the mental. It's the execution. We have to get better as a program. There are some guys. We got bumps and bruises and things like that. Human nature wants to pull back. I mean, that's just reality. You come off a physical game, and everything in you wants to take a deep breath. And well, we're playing an FCS opponent, and obviously we respect this game. We respect our responsibility. We respect who we're playing. We're going to respect all things that are necessary to go out and be better than we've ever been come Saturday. Right? And that's what I challenge our players with. This is the last. We're going to respect these guys that are playing in their last game at home. And if it's not the best game that we've played, then we have failed. We've come up short. Right? We've not hit the mark. Right? And that's where it's easy to want to give into that human desire of maybe we can just pull back a little bit. Then you're not going to accomplish the things that are out there for us. And we're going to be smart with our players. We're going to make sure that everything we have planned, from when we started in the summer to where we are now. I mean, everything is planned for what it needs to look like and what it's going to be. But we're going to work, and that's why we came in yesterday. And it's business as usual as we continue to grow. Because if we don't get better this week, we're not going to be in position for the things that are ahead. We know we're going to get to play in the conference championship game. We know, you don't have to, but it's about today. It's about what you do today. It's about what you do this week. It's about we did not play a perfect game last game. We made some mistakes that were costly in that game. We have to be better. Coaches, players, everybody involved. But if we don't apply those lessons, we're not achieving the objective of what we set out for. All the things we've done to get to where we're 10-0, and I'm excited to be 10-0. Right? I'm proud of our players to be 10-0. I'm proud of them but I've watched them grow. I watched them make investment. I've watched them pour what all they have into each other, into this team, into each step that's been necessary. If we don't do that this week, man, it will be devastating for our program, right? Because that's what we're built on. And so, man, we're going to respect this game, and we're going to respect the opportunity. We're going to respect all the work that these guys have poured in to get to this point, and we're going to go improve this week.
Next will be Kurt, front row on your right.
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here. This being, of one of those seniors, Jordan obviously is one of the guys this week who's being honored his last game at Doak. You've had a lot of memories with him, I'm sure. Can I put you on the spot about a couple that stand out moments or memories from your time with Jordan?
Man, it's the whole journey. I mean, you can't just put with him. Can't be just about a glimpse or even just a game it's just who he is. And watching him grow, watching him improve, watching him care, watching him invest, the confidence that has been built, just in who he is and what he's all about. Man, he is a tremendous person. He's a tremendous leader. He represents Florida State the way it should be represented. So, I think the consistency of his character is something that stands out to me. And it's not always you can pick in each game. There's moments and opportunities that he gets to make the choice of what it's going to be and what he's going to do, and he fights for this team. I thought one of the great plays there in the other day was a third down, and Brennan, little speed option play, and you had to cut up the field. He lowers his shoulder, but everything he had to go get a couple extra yards, right? And that was those things are just. I love his passion to do what he do all that he can to help this team. And so, not to point out any just like specific moments. He's had a bunch of great moments, and he'll have a lot of plays and a lot of games that people will talk about forever. He's broke some records, and I thought it was pretty remarkable that. The first starting quarterback at Florida State to go 3-0 against that last team, and that's something that'll be remembered. But I don't want to just put it into a couple of games, because he's so much more than that.
We'll come to Chris, front row on your left.
You mentioned honoring the 2013 team this season. You've had the opportunity to honor 93 and now 13. Do you allow yourself to have a moment to enjoy those guys and understand what they represent now that you represent them, and all of that comes with that, even though you have a game on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't, then you're cheating all that they did. Those teams were special. Those teams, we do. It's not just like we're going to recognize them as a team there Saturday, but it's about recognizing we bring the past players back at every home game. They have an opportunity, to come and be a part of, our Friday night. Whenever we're on the road, if they're in the area, they have an opportunity to come be around the team. The guys that have come and laid the foundation before us, they deserve to be recognized. They deserve to be celebrated. Because they've made this program what we get to be a part of. And so, I'm glad that we have a game and a moment, but I still think that what we do each day, being able to open the doors to past players, that's important. We had a lot of great past players that were here this last week, and guys on the sideline. You see tears in their eye, just because they care so much, because it meant so much, because they invested so much, because it is who they are and what they're all about. Because we said a ton. Once a Nole, always a Nole. It doesn't ever go away. And being able to put on pads, it does. That's going to end, and it's going to end for guys at a lot of different times. But the passion, obviously the excitement, the belief in the program, that's forever. And so, yes, we absolutely take time to recognize that, and I'm looking forward to those guys being here. But it's also it's daily.
Stay here for Brendan.
You touched on it a little bit already, but the senior class, especially the guys who were here when you got here from the very beginning, I guess what level of appreciation, the work that they put through, and the emotions, all that stuff that's gone into getting to this point.
Yeah, it's the level of appreciation is all. It's it can't be any higher, because they said yes. They said yes. And it was hard. It was challenging. The experiences, there were highs and there were lows. And they said yes to continue to work, continue to grow, continue to push themselves to a lot of them, further than probably what they even thought they could get to. And but I believed in them. And they said yes, so did we. And it's our choice in being able to set the standard and to help paint the picture of what can be ahead. And a lot of these guys, they were able to stick it through. They were able to push. And when I'm sure plenty of people had other opinions on what they could or what they should do, but they believed in it. And they're great leaders on this team, wonderful teammates. They're just great examples of what this program's all about.
Second row on the left for Essen.
When you guys beat the Gators last year, the fans rushed the field. This year, the players kind of went and celebrated with the fans. Just how much does it mean to have the fans and be part of those when you guys win those games, those rivalry games?
And our fans are incredible, and that atmosphere on Saturday, it was special. And we had a little over 100 recruits that were here, and so it's been a busy weekend, and you get a chance to visit with them after, and everyone I talked to, I was like, "What'd you think, Coach? That atmosphere. I mean, it stands out, and you feel it. It's incredible, and for our players, they feed off of that." And you understand, and I think I've said this before, but I told them there on Saturday before we came. I said, when you get that legacy walk, take it in for a second. I mean, just realize, and from the minute we got off that bus, man, the energy, we felt it all week. I mean, what's building up to, but you take it in. You realize, who you get to represent. And when you run out on that field, I mean, it was electric. And you see, so obviously when our guys we finished that game, and to see them run over in the student section and the fans, and just being able to have that time, I think it does show the appreciation for all those that support us. But it wasn't just this week. I mean, we talked about it last week. We went on the road and last 2 conference road games, at Pittsburgh and North Carolina. I mean, we had, I'd say half, but we had a lot of people that were there supporting this team. And that's one of the great things about where we are. And it is who we represent, and just support that they give as we continue to push.
We'll go to Corey, second row on your right.
Got a two-parter, multi-layered for you. First off, the last 2 weeks seems like more than usual tackles behind the line of scrimmage for your offense. Is there a common theme to what's going wrong with those? And then I'll wait for that answer, then do the second part.
Well, it's not a 2-for-1 if you.
No, yeah.
Okay. So first part.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's something that we have to clean up. And it's not one specific. We faced a lot of pressure these last 2 weeks, and when you face that amount of pressure, there's always there's variable levels of why a negative happens, or what you could do better in that. And there's certain things up front, certain things whether it's a track or a run or a read or a possibility of getting the ball out or a hot throw, different things that showed up that helped allow the negatives. And there's things that I can be better at, as a play caller. If I, where can I help put guys in a better position? So we're all take ownership in that, but that's something that has to improve. And the last 2 weeks we've had way too many negatives offensively that put us in long yardage situations. And so starting with me, I've got to be better. And we're going to work as we get into this week. Some of those things that we talked about having to improve upon. That's obviously a big focus.
I know he had a 200-yard game this year, but is that the best Trey Benson has run this season, or the hardest, I guess?
Well, he was great the other night, and he had some hard runs where it maybe wasn't just a big run. Then the couple of them that absolutely showed up, and he was, he looked great, and I was proud of him. He showed up when we needed him to, and I thought he was one of the key factors to that victory, because he ran with unbelievable purpose and did a wonderful job.
I believe your staff, Sports Information, put out a statistic that Kalen DeLoach with 7 sacks is It's the most sacks a linebacker for Florida State has had since '93.
You put that up?
Steve,
Good job.
Kalen, I mean, coming into the season, he had 4 career sacks. If you could talk about him, and is he also kind of like a perfect example? I know there are a lot of them, but of those guys that from where they were when you got here to where they are now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's had an exceptional year, and I think, you look at the production that he's had, tackles, sacks, tackles for loss. Just fumble recovery. Big one, but he's been all over the field for us, and you see his progression over the last few years, and he's a wonderful player. He's very smart. He studies the game. He embraces that part of it, which allows us to do so much with him. And I think when you look, I thought Coach Fuller did a great job in the plan to get. That was a team that had not given up very many sacks, and he did a great job in a couple of things schematically to try to get Kalen some, the space necessary, and then when he hit it, that was it was impressive. And he's got great players around him that also help allow some of those one-on-one or one-on-none situations. And but he is a tremendous playmaker, and he makes this football team better by his example. He makes this team better by his work. And he's really grown and matured over the years. And just the work ethic is something that that I'll forever be grateful for, because you've seen him really push himself, and I think that's what's earned the respect of his teammates. And yes, when you watch him on the field, he goes and he makes plays.
Come to Jordan, third row on your left.
Coach, last week against Pittsburgh, 37 runs, 37 passes. This week against Miami, 31 runs, 31 passes. How important is it for this team to be balanced on offense? How do you continue to call plays, and with that in mind?
Yeah, we always want to have an element of being balanced, but we want to score points. And that's the thing that helping put our guys in the best position to do that. We had some missed opportunities the other day that we're going to have to continue and improve upon. But the thing I'm really been pleased with our guys is just they've done a great job of taking care of the ball. They've done a great job of I think Jordan's made some wonderful decisions, and sometimes we're going back to a little bit of the negatives. There's he's made some decisions sometimes to take a negative rather than to force something that could be a catastrophic play. And he's done a great job. The running backs, receivers, all those guys. But we want to have balance. We want to take what teams are giving us, and then as games continue to evolve, being able to hopefully be able to open up the explosive runs and the opportunities that can be provided. But I thought our guys they know, and they work hard, and we want to be balanced, and it's something that we get to continue to work to improve, and just making sure we're scoring in as many opportunities as we can.
We've got time for 2 more. We'll come back to Essen.
I think you had a strong defense all season, but Adam Fuller's ability, to adjust to whatever is happening in the second half. Just talk about that and just how great he has been to, for the second half adjustments to help the team, pull out wins.
Yeah, Adam's done a remarkable job, and I think him, the defensive staff. They're so very well coordinated in what they do, and then it's one thing to have ideas of how to adjust. It's another thing to be able to implement that throughout the course of the game, and for the players to be confident in it, players to be able to go out and execute it. The efficiency and communication. Obviously the versatility and things that we can do in the moment, and that's some of the challenges that we faced earlier, in the year with, communications where we might have had, a mishap, something that, you have to grow through those, and nobody wants to experience them. But because we could do multiple things, because some of those elements that you could now reference back to maybe in the course of a game, it allows us to be multiple, and then it allows us to. If somebody's come in, I thought they did a good job in one of their personnel packages, and we gave up a little bit too much space inside on the run game, and they were able to pop a couple runs, and but I thought we did a great job making adjustments in the second half to eliminate some of that space, and other than the onside kick, which was something that we knew we were going to do going in the game. I think that was the only time in the second half that they had a snap on our side of the 50. It was impressive to see our defensive just mentality and the execution. Obviously, we gave up the big play, but that was one of those that that we'll continue to get better and eliminating that. But it's I thought they did a great job, and he's doing a great job of leading the group. But our players are doing a great job in being able to execute and adapt in those situations.
Last one will be Aslan, back right.
Coach, two national outlets were discussing a coaching vacancy and put your name on a potential list. I know you can't control your name being involved in those things, but what is your sort of reaction when these things happen, and how do you manage that in your conversations?
Yeah, there's not really any point to talk about it, in a sense. I mean, it's funny how how sometimes those things get out there and people want to try to use that, and especially in recruiting and things like that. Well, I told recruits 2 years ago, and a lot of these guys that we're recruiting now, I said, well, it's funny, 2 years ago, every coach was talking about, well, how long is he going to be there? They better win some games, or he's not. But I told him then, I said, watch, in 2 years, everybody's going to be trying to use the other thing. Well, but this is like that. I can't control any of that, and obviously, we're so excited about what we're building here, where we're going, the opportunity that's ahead. I mean, this is it's a special place, and that's I think that speaks for itself. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, and but I can't control all those things.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great one.
Thank you.